For nearly 50 years, Voyager 1 has been drifting farther from Earth than any other human-made object in history. A silent guardian of the cosmos, it sails through the darkness of interstellar space, powered by technology older than most household appliances. Its mission seemed to be quietly winding down until something unexpected occurred. In 2025, Voyager 1, long presumed to be in the final stages of its journey, began transmitting strange data back to Earth. The signal itself was authentic, but the content made no sense. The numbers were incoherent, like a message scrambled beyond recognition. To some, it was just a technical hiccup, nothing more than aging hardware. But to others, it felt like something else entirely. A cosmic murmur, a sign that perhaps we are not alone in the vastness of space. Back in 1977, when NASA launched Voyager 1, expectations were modest. The goal was to photograph the outer planets and gather data on Jupiter and Saturn. Even that would have been a major achievement. But after completing its primary mission, NASA decided to push further. Voyager was sent beyond the planets, past to the boundary of the heliosphere, and into the unknown. Today, Voyager 1 is over 24 billion kilometers from Earth. It takes nearly 23 hours for a message to reach it, and another 23 for its reply to come back. It floats in a region untouched by any other spacecraft, far outside the protective bubble of our Sun's magnetic field. In every sense, it is utterly alone, a ghost from the past still whispering through the void. What makes Voyager's endurance even more astonishing is its technology. It runs on a primitive onboard computer with a total memory of just 68 kilobytes, barely enough to store a single modern photo. Data is saved on magnetic tape and transmitted at speeds slower than a 1990s dial-up modem. Most of its systems have been shut down to conserve power. Only 3 instruments remain operational, and each year the spacecraft loses about 4 watts. By 2030, even these final instruments will likely go dark, and Voyager will fall silent forever. Yet just as it seemed Voyager was fading quietly into the cosmos, something extraordinary occurred. In May 2022, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory received routine telemetry from Voyager. The data had traveled nearly a full day through space, but this time, something was different. The attitude articulation and control system, which keeps the antenna aimed at Earth, was reporting values that made no sense. It was as if the spacecraft believed it was spinning or pointed in a direction that was physically impossible. Yet everything else was normal. The antenna remained perfectly aligned. Scientific instruments were operating. The power systems were stable. Voyager was functioning. But one vital system was behaving irrationally. NASA engineers were baffled. How could one system glitch so specifically while the rest of the spacecraft remained stable? And why now, after over 4 decades of consistent performance? Theories ranged from plausible to outlandish. A cosmic radiation surge, decaying hardware, or something far more mysterious. Online speculation flourished. Had Voyager encountered something beyond our understanding? An intelligence that responded to the golden record? NASA officially denied any extraterrestrial involvement, but their silence on the anomaly only fueled further speculation. Then, weeks later, engineers discovered the root of the problem. The issue wasn't with the spacecraft's hardware or radiation damage. It wasn't even a traditional software bug. Instead, Voyager's control system had started routing data through a long deactivated computer module, one that hadn't been used since the 1980s. No command from Earth had told it to do this. The result was garbled data, as though the spacecraft was speaking through a forgotten, corrupted channel. Engineers quickly issued new instructions, redirecting data through a still active system. The problem disappeared, and the signal returned to normal. But the mystery remained. Why had Voyager used a dead system? Why now? There was no protocol in its code to do this. Voyager doesn't have artificial intelligence. It doesn't make decisions. It executes commands sent from Earth. And yet, it acted on its own, beyond its design, beyond its programming. This raises an unnerving question. If Voyager truly is alone, why is it acting like it's not? Decades before it left our solar system, Voyager was assigned one final mission, one not related to science or exploration. Fixed to its side is a 12-inch gold-plated phonograph record, the Voyager Golden Record. Curated by Carl Sagan and his team, it holds greetings in 55 languages, music from Bach to Chuck Berry, the sounds of Earth, and images of human beings. It is humanity's calling card, a message in a bottle sent across the stars. But some scientists, including the late Stephen Hawking, warned that this record might be more dangerous than hopeful. If a hostile intelligence were to find it, they would not only know that we exist, they would know exactly where to find us and what we look like. In giving the universe our coordinates, we might have unknowingly invited contact. And now, all these years later, the very spacecraft carrying that message is behaving in a way no one can fully explain. Routing data through dead systems, acting unpredictably, breaking the mold that defined its operation for half a century. NASA may have resolved the glitch, but the underlying question remains: was this merely mechanical failure or something more? In the world of deep space engineering, unpredictability is the enemy. Every system on Voyager was programmed with meticulous care. It was designed to be reliable, durable, and, above all, predictable. For nearly 50 years, it was just that, until it wasn't. The anomaly in 2025 shattered those expectations. The spacecraft rerouted critical data through a module that had been dormant for decades, something no one had ever prepared for. And worse still, there was no command from Earth to do so. No update, no protocol. It wasn't just a bug. It was behavior. Unprecedented behavior. Imagine being a NASA engineer, staring at a screen in California, receiving a signal from 15 billion miles away, only to realize your decades-old spacecraft has done something no one taught it to do, something it couldn't have learned on its own. Could the harsh conditions of space have caused such an isolated and specific malfunction? Possibly. But even then, the odds are astronomically low. After the incident, things returned to normal. The data was clear. The signal stable, crisis averted, or was it? According to insiders, Voyager's odd behavior didn't start in 2025. In hindsight, there were subtle anomalies in previous months, even years. Minute delays in signal timing, electromagnetic interference in NASA's deep space network. Tiny inconsistencies that, taken alone, meant nothing. But together, they formed a pattern, one not consistent with known system failures. That's when some began asking uncomfortable questions. Could Voyager be reacting to something? Not malfunctioning, but responding? Officially, NASA rejects the idea. They maintain there is no evidence of contact, but with Voyager 1 being nearly 23 light-hours away, communication is slow, and real-time analysis is impossible. How much can we truly know? And how long can we ignore silence that feels deliberate? The notion that Voyager 1 may have encountered something, be it physical, energetic, or intelligent, is compelling. But are we projecting human fears onto an aging machine? Or is this the moment we're finally brushing up against something real? Consider the golden record again. If it were found by a capable civilization, they would immediately see that we are primitive. They'd know our technology is limited, that our response time is glacial, that we can barely control a 50-year-old probe. If they didn't want direct contact, what better way to test us than to lightly tamper with the messenger? Not destroy it, not hijack it, but gently nudge it. Let us notice. Let us wonder. To us, it looks like a glitch. To them, it could be a reply. And here's the unsettling truth. We wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Whether you believe Voyager 1 encountered something extraordinary or that this was simply the last gasp of a worn-out machine. One fact remains undeniable. Voyager has proven humanity's incredible capacity to dream. We built something not for profit or power, but for discovery, for hope, for the chance that we're not alone. This tiny spacecraft, built before the internet or smartphones, still sends messages across billions of kilometers. And in doing so, it reminds us that even our oldest creations can outlive us, outlast us, and ask the questions we're still afraid to answer. Are we alone? What's really out there? And what happens when something, or someone, answers back? Because sometimes it's the thing everyone overlooks, the fading probe, the broken signal, the impossible glitch, that reveals where the truth is hiding. Voyager 1 wasn't meant to last this long. It wasn't designed to reach interstellar space, and yet it has. And now, after all these years, it's still speaking. But what it's saying, and what we choose to hear, may be two entirely different things. The anomaly wasn't just a system error. It was a reminder that we've sent a beacon into the stars with our name, our image, and our address. And we have no idea who, or what, might find it. NASA fixed the glitch. But the deeper questions remain unanswered. Why did Voyager act the way it did? Why now? And what if it happens again? Maybe it really was just a technical hiccup. Or maybe in the cold darkness between stars, our most distant creation already brushed against something far greater. Something watching. Something waiting. And maybe, just maybe, that strange signal wasn't a mistake at all. Maybe it was the universe speaking back, whispering, "You are not alone."